taking a walk down memory lane. I was going through some notes of some red flags that I put together, a little over 200 of them, and looking at them and seeing what's realistic, what's not realistic, what red flags were actually no-goes, which ones were actually deal breakers, and which ones were red flags but things that could possibly be worked on. You know, I think it comes down to this. This is kind of a standard I have. I haven't put it to the test very much. But I go by what people are doing, what they're researching, what they're reading, what they're doing, how they live their lives, what they're up to. Doesn't matter what they're saying. Don't go by the words. Kind of like how news and the media is nowadays. You can't take that shit at face value. It's propaganda. Trying to get something out of you. Trying to get you to think a certain way. Stuff like that. Anyways, I look at these red flags and I remember there was about a week or so where I did a study where it kind of flipped after several months of studying these red flags. And I thought, what are all the red flags in myself? It's like, what red flags do I have? And I started looking at it from that and working at it from that. It's not so fascinating when you start going through it at that angle. It's not so funny, meow, is it? Anyways, you know, this kind of research, this kind of study, this kind of introspection, it's really great stuff. It really is. It's an emotional ride. It's like you discover things about yourself you didn't realize, and it makes you feel really bad for about a day or two. You just feel just like, ugh. And then you snap out of it, and it's like, diamond in the rough. And, but also, you know, I've had a couple 300, even more so, green flags. The green flags added up way more. I think there was probably enough green flags, one for every day of the year. About 350, maybe up towards 400 green flags. But anyways, likewise, same thing, looking through those, going through the green flags, it's like, which green flags are a definite hell yeah, an empathetic hell yeah, and which ones are okay, yeah, that's really good, and which ones were like, yeah, okay, and then which ones are like, yeah, not even worth mentioning. Too regular, too basic, too easy. Anyways, going through those cards, or going through those red flags, green flags, I consolidated them down. I did keep the notes though. But I came up with, off of each page, each set of notes, I thought if I only could pick three red flags off of each page that were just so important, I mean, that they could be deal breakers or deal makers. Deal breakers and deal makers, either way, you know, just really, really good stuff, you know, where it's really not even that much in question. And I picked a couple, three out from those. And now the green flags, it turned out to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 green flags. And out of these green flags, these aren't all definite deal makers, as in a definite solid hell yeah, but they're the two levels of that. The ones that's right next door to that, and then the other one. And the red flags, those came out a little bit less for some reason. I guess because there's only 200 something red flags. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I guess there's a lot more than what I thought. That's just 3 less than the other one. But there's some serious red flags there to look out for. But this is what I wanted to talk about mainly. Ending a relationship. And of course, if a person looked at my track record, it'd be easy to think, well, you don't know much about commitment. You don't know much about sticking through it no matter what. And I'd say, yeah, I can do those things with the right person or people that are worthy of that. Anyways, just thinking about this right here. It's basically an 8-point checklist before ending a relationship. But there's a preparation before this. This is the execution. This is the execution stage. That's pulling the trigger right there. And let's see, where's the other one? And then the before the breakup. I guess I didn't look at my notes as quickly, as thoroughly as I thought I did a minute ago. But anyways, this is also the after the breakup. I guess my notes aren't organized as I thought. Fairly organized, yes. But here's the first thing, first and foremost. What I perceive to be the very first and foremost thing, before getting all crazy, before getting all irrational. This is notes to me, talking to myself. First, diagnose yourself of whether you've been a naive pushover. See, that's very important right there. And also, or is it that you have been standing up for yourself, but finally giving in, aka pushover? But things like this, they don't really happen as easy if a person is on their mission and purpose. If they have a mission and purpose in their life, this stuff really don't stand a chance at happening, because they either got to be on board doing the same things. That's like if somebody wants to be on board with what you're doing, or if they're just trying to get a piece of the pie, so to speak, trying to use you, and they're just talking the game about all the stuff that you like and they like and the compatibilities, but they're just putting on a show so they can gain your trust to get something out of you. Look at what they've been doing for the past year. The past year before that. I give it 1 year. I say if you can look into 1 year of what they've been up to for that year and have some accuracy into that, then you'll know. Because I think a year worth of habits pretty much shows you what track a person is on. Red flags, green flags. Let's look at the standard. This is a standard. This is my chosen criteria. This is a way of knowing. Number one, shared understanding. They get you, appreciate your quirks, and provide a non-judgmental safe space. See, that's important. And to have that established and genuine and consistent. But usually, if that can happen once, you pretty much know it's going to happen many other times. Usually that don't ever even happen at all, ever. In certain situations, that is. Number two, companionship and a sense of belonging. Basically a friend that ensures you never feel alone. They offer a sense of inclusion and connection. Absolute extreme importance. In today's society, where so many of us are addicted to our phones, getting that and having that sense of inclusion and connection, it's not as common as you would think. Number three, celebration of life. This is an absolute deal breaker or deal maker. When you can see this thing is genuine, when they're truly happy for you when you're winning or you have a win, and they share in your successes, and you're hitting milestones and accomplishments, whether they're big or small, and they're happy for you, you can see it. You know, even if they're still having a shitty day and they've been down in the dumps. I mean, if somebody's loved ones just died or something and they're going through something really bad, you know, and you didn't know it, and you tried to share something with them and they just didn't click with it, and they just barely acknowledged it, then that's excused. I mean, let's use common sense here. But it's pretty easy to see when you hit a milestone and people give you a flat line. Number four, encouragement of growth and development. Encouragement. See, encouragement of growth and development, that's not like they're trying to guilt trip you into doing something or shame you, the shame game. Those are signs of toxic relationships as far as I'm concerned, not healthy attachment styles. That's something that I've been steeped in for years and years, which I finally think I'm breaking away from it the most part. And number five, this is the ultimate green flag, the synergy of well-being. With all the traits of true friendship, notice I said friendship, because a friendship, true friendship, that can be branched off into any other kind of relationships, business partners, lovers, adventurers, family. And it's the kind of friendship that actually boosts one another's mental and physical health, that reduces stress. The kind of friend, like when you're going through a hard time and you're getting really tangled up in life, it's like you can go be around them for a little bit, talk to them for a little bit. And when you leave them after that interaction, you actually feel a little bit better. Not worse or not the same, but a little bit better, if not a lot better, if not enlightened and full of hope. See, that's another green flag that cannot be ignored. which can be ignored pretty easy if a person's not paying attention, if they're going through life sleeping. Anyways, that's the 5 criteria. That's 15 minutes. And that conversation did not go nowhere near where I thought it was. I was trying to make it go somewhere else, but it went completely in a different area. Just goes to show I am not as good a speaker as what I thought. Of course, maybe a little bit of practice, a little bit of coaching, a little bit of training. I could detail some notes out and stage a speech a little bit better, have it a little bit better structured, a little bit more fine-tuned, be a keynote speaker, know how to expound on those keys and hit those psychological pressure points. So the call to action today, do we have a call to action today? You know, I think I'm kind of done with the the CTA thing. I was kind of doing that as a theme, and I was kind of toying with do I want to do that on every video? And I was kind of doing that. If you look at all the videos I've made, a lot of them have that. And I think I'm not going to do that on this one. No call to action. Other than the fact that, do you know what your absolute deal breakers are and your absolute deal makers are? And no, I'm not just talking about for potential lovers or potential wives or husbands. I'm talking about anyone and everyone. Oh, the video is still on. We can just sit here and stare at each other. Anyways, 18 minutes, 9 seconds. That concludes the 44th video. I can't believe it's 44 freaking videos already since I started. Since I decided to do it and be consistent. Start before I'm ready. Make the YouTube channel, get them up and running, start. Not having no equipment, no microphones, no lighting, no nothing, just start. And that's what I'm doing, just starting. And it's going to be really cool to get a few years up the road and look at these. And by that time, there's going to be a few thousand of these videos. Easily. Especially if I'm doing them like every single day. Because 1 year is 365 videos. And anyways, I'll be able to look back and I'll be like, wow, I really sucked in the early days. Terrible, 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 terrible video, terrible clothing, terrible mannerisms, terrible, terrible, terrible. But then again, I might be very similar to the same. I might just be a little more polished in the way I'm communicating my material. That's most likely what's going to happen. But you know what? You know what these videos are about? You know why I'm doing these videos? First and foremost, because it's just another way for me to study myself, to research myself, to truly know myself, to do introspection. Because I think that's probably the first and foremost, most important thing every man should do. That's the way I believe. I think every man should be introspection, because our minds are wired differently from women. Therefore, we need to do it. And I'll just leave that right there. Have a good one. See you in the funny papers.